The Neurocast from Truthsayers. Simon Stapleton talks to Perry Timms about the importance of measuring how attitudes change within a workforce.
From a change perspective, it's clear that organisations still need support to help them through the change, mostly because there's just a whole backlog of stuff to deal with and resetting up their organisation. But it's having the clarity of what the future looks like and having a vision for it, I think, is still going to be tough for a lot of organisations, let alone all the execution of it. But it's having the clarity. And I think real change, particularly agile change, starts with that level of clarity. As we saw when we did our State of Agile Culture research last year. And so getting that clarity, not just of what they want to be as an organisation, almost like blue sky stuff, but what their people, and it's what you're saying, what their people, what their talent also wants as well is really important. And getting to the bottom of the preferences and the work patterns of pretty much their greatest asset, the workforce, is going to be key to getting that happy medium. I mean, I think one change that's happened over the last couple of years, it was happening anyway, but COVID has accelerated it, is around employees are now feeling it's not a privilege to work for their employer. It's a two-way street. Exactly. I exchange my time for something from you, benefits, pay, and all that. And so I think the parity is emerging through this. And I don't know if I saw some research this morning that 81% of unhappy employees have faked happiness in the workplace, right? That for me is a huge mental health time bomb waiting to go off. I think what's going to happen is all that's going to come to a head at some point, plus all the isolation and things like that in lockdown. It's all going to, if we thought it's bad in some ways, I think it's going to be worse for a little while longer as all that emerges. And then that's where we come in with our neurotech platform, is actually we would be able to measure where employees are not feeling happy, and faking it, and enable the leaders and the employees, the workforce, to actually communicate in that safe and secure way without being exposed, without being having your individual name, attached to a gripe or something. You don't be singled out. So, we really believe that having an open platform to make all this exchange work and for it to be fair and equitable is absolutely the future. And I think it's the right time for our technology in the market at this time.
I like that a lot for a number of reasons, insofar as actually at the moment trying to get to the heart of the truth, as in the truth about perhaps a process or a model, or even like in the example I gave you, a scenario for working in or out of the office. That truth is difficult to declare, other than to declare, because you haven't experienced it, so you can't tell whether you really love it or it pans out. You can only talk about your reaction to it, and so this is where I think the truth bit comes in. It's not about it; it's how do you react to it. So that would be such valuable data, because people are going, they haven't even done it yet, but look at their reaction. They don't believe it. They don't feel it. And there's something symbolic about that either requires more dialogue, more clarity, a stronger vision, more participation. I don't know what it might be. Do you find yourself doing like before and after snapshots sometimes on similar messaging, but put in different ways? Have you done that?
Oh, very much so. I mean, we'd call that change audience analytics, where you've got basically a group of people where you're starting them off before a change or some event, and then afterwards, and you look at how the sentiment has changed within that group of people. Actually, nothing might have necessarily physically changed in systems and processes, things like that, but the attitudes changed, and therefore the organisation is probably much more equipped from an attitudinal perspective to take on what's about to land in other areas of change in the business. It's the invisible shift which actually makes the difference, not necessarily how it manifests.